So I welcome you all to lecture 4. And this lecture, we would explore NumPy. So what does NumPy stand for? So NumPy stands for Numerical Python. And it's a library that helps you shape your data. When you shape your data, you want to manipulate your data. You want to process your data. So your NumPy will do that efficiently. Do that such that it fits into your machine learning model that you'll be developing or your deep learning model. In terms of structuring your data, we're going to be using the shoe rack analogy. So if you look at the image at the bottom left corner, you will see this reflects a shoe rack. And then this shoe rack has got 2 rows and 3 columns. And the shoes are arranged nicely. And then at the bottom right corner, you will see that this shoe rack also has 3 rows and 2 columns. And you can see that the shoes are also arranged nicely. And then this is what NumPy can do for you, can arrange or can structure your data in any shape or size. So once you've structured your data, you can also access. So that brings us to this slide. You can see NumPy can also help you access your data, in this case, shoes. And then if you look at this image, I'm enlarging, you will see that this shoe rack has got 2 rows and then 3 columns. So if I would like to access this white canvas, how will I do that? So you would use the indexing. And then if you look at the image at the bottom left corner, you will see that the rows are labeled. So you can see labeled from top to bottom. Follow that arrow. And then you have row 0 and row 1. At the same time, the columns are also numbered from left to right. And then you have column 0, column 1, column 2. So imagine, so what's going to be the index? Or how do we access the white canvas? So we can say 0, 2, which means it belongs to row 0 and then column 2. So I can tell you, go to 0, 2, I'm going to fetch my white canvas. And then you can access that canvas. We can also do the same thing for the pink shoe. So to access the pink shoe, I'll tell you, go to my shoe rack and go and fetch me my pink shoe at 1, 0. And that 1, 0 reflects that space. It means row 1, column 0. You would go there to that slot and fetch me my pink canvas. Yeah, so if you look at the image, this image that is being enlarged, you will see that the indexing rows and columns are also labeled at this bottom right corner. And then the rows are labeled the same way from top to bottom. So row 0, row 1, row 2. And then the columns are also labeled from left to right. So column 0 and column 1. So here, if I would like to access or retrieve my white canvas, I would say, hey, go to 2, 0 and fetch my white canvas. And then with that information, you would go to that slot to retrieve my white canvas. And that means that you would find it at row 2, column 0. Remember, the labeling starts from 0. So your NumPy can help you structure your data and can also help you access your data. I hope this is clear. So here, how do we create arrays? So how do we create our data in NumPy? So this reflects how to create a 2D array. So you do your NumPy for short, so np.array. So we'll do that in Google Collaborate shortly. And then you can see that this array encapsulates this data. So we have 1, 5, 2, comma 3, 6, 4, which is a 2D array. So this reflects the first row, the data in the first row, just like you have in your shoe rack, 1, 5, 2, and then this also reflects the data in the second row. So which is the one at the bottom here. So which is 3, 6, 4. So you can also have another, you can also have your data, and then that reflects the shape in this shoe rack. And then this one has got 3 rows, isn't it? This is data in the first row, 1, 5, 2. And then you also have the data in the second row, 3, 6, 4. And then you also have the data in the last row, 3, 6, 4. Yeah, so and this also shows how, you do indexing in arrays. I've also mentioned that earlier. So your rows would start from 0 to 0, although this one has got 3 rows. When it comes to indexing, you start from 0. So 0, 1, 2, and then your row labeling starts from top to bottom. But for your columns, you would start from the left-hand side, and then you move towards the right. I hope this is clear. And so let's go to our Google Collaborate. Yeah, so this is my folder. So you can get to my folder, and then I can right click and create a new file, a new Google Collaborate. And then it's coming up. And I can name it lecture 4. Just a lecture 4, I can rename it lecture 4. Yeah, so I can come here and import the library. Remember, the first thing you have to do is to import the library. Import NumPy as NP for short. Yeah, so then we can come here to say NumPy. So let's say our shoe rack. Let's create a shoe rack. Shoe racks in NumPy.array. So I want to create a 2D shoe rack. And then I hope we're right. And then we can say 1, 2, 3. Trying to create a 2D shoe rack. So we'll create a shoe rack of 2 rows and 3 columns. So 5, 6, 7. Then we'll close that. And then I run it, see it, hope all is well. Yes, all is well. So I can come here to print our shoe rack. And then I can copy this and paste here. And let's see our shoe rack. So you can see, look at our shoe rack. Our shoe rack has got 2 rows. So row 1, row 2. Remember, this would have index 0, index 2, and then our shoe rack has got 3 columns. So column 1 with index 0, column 2. And then you can also come here to say, okay, well, this shoe rack, can you print your shape? Look at the shoe rack dot, please, we want to get your shape. And then that will print our shape. You can see now, so it's telling us it's 2 by 3, which means 2 rows and 3 columns. I hope this is clear. And then we can also come here to say, okay, well, we would like to reshape. So you can say shoe rack, dot reshape. We can reshape our shoe rack into what? 3 by 2. So that means we are going from 2 by 3, and then so you can see now. So that's the beauty of NumPy. It can help you reshape your data. So here you can see our data was what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is of shape 2 by 3. That means 2 rows and 3 columns. And then that has been transformed into 3 rows and 2 columns. So if I come here to say, okay, well, reshape, I mean, to get the shape of this one. So let's come here to say, okay, well, shoe rack, so reshaped. This is a reshaped shoe rack. And then what else? Yeah. So this is a reshaped shoe rack. And then let's try and print the shape of this guy. So let's print this first. Come here. So print. So print the data first. So once we print the data, we'll also print the shape. So shoe rack shape. So, and then, so you can see, print an empty space here. Yeah, so you can see our first data is our shoe rack, and then it has 2 rows and 3 columns. And then afterwards, we reshaped our shoe rack into 3 by 2, 3 columns, 3 rows and 2 columns. And then after that, you can see the shape. The shape is now 3 by 2. And then you can also access data. Remember, that's one good thing about you can access data. So let's imagine that we would like to access data. So we would like to access, we want to access 6. So to access 6, that would be what? Index 0, index 1, index 2. So that would be 2. So I'm saying go to row with index 2 and column 0. So remember, your rows indexing would start with 0. So 0, 1, and 2. So this is row with index 2. And then your column 0. So if I run this, you can see that print 6. So I've been able to access 6. What about if I want to access 7? How do we do that? So I'll also come here and then say, okay, well, same row, but different column, which is 1. So column with index 1. And then you can run this and then that access 7. Okay, I hope this is clear. So let's carry on. Let's go to our PowerPoint. So done justice to this. So we can also have a 3D array. So you can imagine you have a twin shoe rack. So one facing front, you have another one facing the other side. So that's a 3D array. It means you have 2 slices. So the first slice, the second slice, and then on each slice you have rows and columns. So here you have one slice facing this side, and then this slice has got 2 rows and then 2 columns. And at the other side, you also have 2 rows and 3 columns. And this is what we see here now. So this is the one facing us, the data facing us, and then the one facing the wall, you have that data. So can have, so let's create our 3D. So let's copy this one, and then we'll go to our collaborate. So 3D, put a comment, 3D array, 3D NumPy array. Yeah, so come here, paste. Okay, so okay, let's write it, not pasting. So we can say 3D shoe rack. Okay, we can use this one. So we can say 3D shoe rack, 3D shoe rack, shoe rack. And then, yeah, so this will not work. So let's say 3D, is that 3D shoe rack. And then remember what we had in our 3D shoe rack, it's a 2D. So this, and then if I hope all is well. Let's try and run this one. Okay, well, I changed it. I changed the variable name. So I can copy this one and paste here. I can also copy this one and paste here. And then I can run it. And you can see now, I hope I'm right. So this is the first slice. That's the shelf. I mean the first, so if you come here now, the first part of the shelf is a twin shelf. So you have the one facing here, and you also have the one facing the wall. So this is the one facing us, which this is the one facing us. Am I right? Yes. And then you also have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then to reflect this, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm right. Let's look at it again. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's. Okay. So trying to look at it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, comma. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I printed twice. Apologies for that. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it was confusing at first. Yeah, so this is the first slice. Apologies for that. And then you can see it says this is the one facing us. This is the first slice. And then that's the second slice. So the first slice, you can see if you come here, you'll see that this first slice has got index 0, and the other one at the far end has got index 1. I hope this is clear. And it means that if I want to access this data, which is 1, I want to access this data, I would have to come into cycle print, so print the shoe rack. So I come here, want to access the first slice, which is 0. And then, so let's come here again to look at it. You can see this is the first slice, which is 0. The first slice facing us is 0. And then we want to access from the first slice, we want to access the first row, which is index 0, and the first column, which is index 0. I hope this is clear. So I can come here and say 0, comma 0. So it means access the first slice, which is this. Once you get hold of the first slice, for the first slice, access the first row, which is index 0, and then the first column, which is index 0, and this would print 1. You can see. So to also access 4, I will also change this one. Simply, well, remember 4 is also on the first slice, which is 0. Second row, which is index 1. Am I right? Second row, yeah. And then the column is constant, which is 1. Then that prints 4 for us. So you can also try to see how you can write your code to access 7 and then 8. You can see NumPy is really interesting. Okay, then we can also create empty seats. So imagine you want to create all zeros. And then, so let's look at that. So you want to create, so we can say you want to create a data. So zero data is equals to NumPy dot zeros. So you tell NumPy you want to create zeros, and then the structure will look like 2 rows and 3 columns. And then if you print that, so you can see all zeros. So that's a 2D. It has got 2 rows and then 3 columns. And if you want to now fill up those zeros, so imagine you want to fill this last one with 24. You can say 24, and then we would say that we are looking at this row, which is index 1, and then column 0, 1, 2, column 2. And that space would have 24. And then after that, I can print our updated data, tab it, and then you can see that gives. So let me put this one here so that would be able to differentiate. So let's put this one. And then you can see our data before. So we created a 2D with 2 rows and 3 columns. And at the end, we updated it. And then we have all zeros except this one. So I hope this is clear. And so we also have some operations we can carry out. And we will look at some of these in our next video. So that's it. Thank you very much, and I see you in the next class.